Hello, today we'll be talking about Unit 2.5, which is other elasticities. This includes the cross-price elasticity and the income elasticity. The first of which we have here in equation form is the percent change in quantity demanded of A over the percent change in price of B. A would be a product like cherry pies, and B would be another product, either a complement, a substitute, but the whole point of using this equation is to figure out what the relationship between the two products is. So in this case, we won't know the relationship between cherry pies or, let's say, apple pies. So if A is cherry pies and B is apple pies, we can figure out whether or not they're substitutes or complements to each other. So what do you do with this information once you have calculated it? Unlike the previous ones, this is a matter of looking whether or not they are positive or negative, rather than whether it's a number above 1 or below 1. If the price of apple pies goes up and the quantity demanded of cherry pies also goes up, that means they are substitutes. If the price of apple pies goes down, but the quantity demanded of cherry pies still goes up, that means they are complements. If you have trouble remembering this, then I suggest you look at the third to last letters of substitutes and complements. If you see T here, even though it's not a good example using this font, T normally looks kind of like a positive sign, so you can remember it like that. And for N, just remember the complements, since this one doesn't even have an N and this one does. Remember, N is negative, so complements is negative, or rather the other way around. Next, let's move on to the income elasticities. So this is the equation for income elasticity. It's percent change in quantity demanded over percent change in consumer income. This is usually easier since normally they just give you the consumer income and don't have you calculate it. But if this number is positive, is a normal good. If it's negative, then is an inferior good. It's pretty simple. If it's negative, negative means bad. So bad, inferior, they're synonyms. So that's how you should try to remember it. So if you don't know what inferior good is in the first place, an inferior good basically in economic terms just means something you wouldn't buy if you had a better option, like a normal good, and is a good that you will only buy if you don't have the money to buy the normal good. This is like if you choose to buy an iPhone 8 over an iPhone 12, it's most likely you're not actually trying to collect iPhones. You probably just don't have the money to buy an iPhone 12 because it's too expensive, and an iPhone 8 is cheaper. Yeah, think of it like that. So next, let's do some practice questions. This is a cross-price elasticity question. If you see the price of apple pies increase by 20% and the quantity demand of cherry pies increase by 30%, are apple pies a substitute or complement of cherry pies? To do that, we need to take this first number and put it at the bottom on the denominator. And we take the quantity demanded of cherry pies, and we put this percent change in the numerator. This equals 1.5. But it's not the value itself that matters. It's whether or not it's positive or negative. And in this case, it is positive. And if it's positive, it is a substitute. So we can say that apple pies and cherry pies are substitutes to each other. Next, let's move on to the income question. So if consumer incomes increases by 200% and the quantity demanded of the moron vote increases by 30%, is the moron vote an inferior or normal good? To do that, we need to take the income, put it at the bottom. And then take this 30% and put it in the numerator. This will be a 3 over 20. We can keep this as a fraction since it's only whether or not it's positive or negative that matters. And we can see here that is still a positive number. So that means the moron phone is a normal good. That is all for the other elasticities. I hope this video helps. Thank you for watching.